these names, and will know that these were the people who were involved in this building. The club, like today's club, was financed by grants and donations and live functions. For instance, they had bagatelle and we have a one-arm bandit. They had ping pong, and we have been asked if we could possibly build a snooker table at the back. They had a rent from a dance master, and some of the more senior citizens and myself will probably know what a dance master was, but we don't know. But we intend to allow the local clubs to use this pavilion for certain functions only, because we already have quite a full year book for ourselves. After the Second World War, the interest waned in the club and it went defunct. The pavilion was sold around 1952, I think, for about £20, so you can imagine what's happening in that length of time. In the early 60s, an attempt was made again, still no interest. In 1982, 4 of us, Sid Robbins, Bert Barson, George McCall and myself, were members of Sanker Bowling Club. And we found when we went down there, because of the work commitment, we could only go down at night. When we got down there, Sanker was full in the early part of the season with tournaments. So we decided we would have a go here. In 1983, with the help of the YTS, the area was fenced in, and so work was done in the bankers. The green itself had been used as a football pitch, camp for a tent, motorbikes over it, horses, you name it, they had been on it. And you can see what we've done in that length of time. Then we planned another big scheme with the YTS, and I'm afraid there were some cutbacks come, and that stopped. But by this time we were getting more members, and somebody's going to mess with that. So in 1984, we decided that as we had more members, we should get properly constituted, and this we did. And in 1985, things weren't going to go well because we got some ladies decided they wanted to enter the club. At the end of 1985 and the beginning of 86, with these lady members, we realised that something would have to be done. We'd have to build a pavilion. So donations kept coming in to help us, with gifts of a mower for cutting the grass. We had help from the Sanker Bowling Club, thanks Jimmy, they showed us what to do. And we started to offer a new clubhouse. It was a caravan, and I don't think Harry's here, but thanks very much, Harry. And then a steering committee was formed, and for some reason or other, they looked at me on as president to look after this, and I can assure anybody that wants to try this game, the Earl was talking about letters and correspondence, and that is what we had to go through before we could start building. That is the personal letters that I had to deal with, along with the Earl, for this building. We started running whist drives and dances, and late 1987, I was quite lucky to meet the Earl of Keith. He was our district councillor, and we got down to brass tacks, and he's already told me what happened. And we had the meeting on the green, as you said, with Councillor Saunders, who's been a great help to us in Wanlockhead for years. And I think he started kicking people round about, and before we knew who we were, we got £8,500 in grant. Now the volunteers were required, and we turned up with Dad's Army. Captain Mannering, Gilbert, that's him on the camera. Sergeant Wilson, Jim Young, he's head himself. Corporal Jones, George Muir. Private Godfrey, myself, and the understand. Private Walker was Ian DL, you'll see him about there somewhere. Private Pike was a range of the businesses that happened to be. Robert Hume, and he's been a young member and a very successful member. He's been in this club. But Private Fraser was our excellent George McCall, who's been looking after the green forest. Now there's been other people involved, but that that was the hardcore that was here all through the winter and their spare time. Captain Mathering, during this building, the pattern was really quite good. To give you an idea of what the sort of thing that went on and the sort of people that are in Wanlockhead, Captain Mathering detailed me to be the apprentice to Mrs. Mathering while we did the paper. Now, Mr. Reid, who supplied the building to us, was so pleased with this building, he kept sending people down to see how we were getting on. And as they were doing it all over Scotland, and they were coming to have a look at this, and we showed them what to do, that was great. And this fella came down one day and he says to Mrs. Mathering, how many rolls of paper do you require for this? She says, 25. And that was that. And about 3 weeks later, the bloke come back and he says, do you know, he says, that 25 rolls of paper you told about, in one shot. She said, so were we. Now, I'm not sure whether you've all picked it up, but tonight there's a free raffle on. And each one of you should be getting a ticket. And later on we'll draw this raffle. And the raffle is a donated voucher up to the value of £20 to be collected at Trigger Sports in Dumfries. The person who donated this does not want to be named, but I can assure you, if you see somebody around here with a shotgun, you'll know exactly who it is. And I think now I should thank you once again for coming, and I would now ask the youngest member of our bowling club, Yvonne, to do the necessary. She knows what to do that. This is Stuart. That's it. Thank you. As soon as possible, get your cup of tea and somebody, and George and Mr. Robbins will get round the bowlers and have a loving end, jingling mix. Thank you very much once again. Mr. Coulter from the Scottish Bowling Association would like to say a word before you.
President Joe, Earl of Dalkey, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. You may recall, some of you, that I had the pleasure of coming to Wanlockhead at the opening of the Green last year. And I considered it was one of the highlights of my bowling career to be asked to come back after 55 years to Wanlockhead to open the bowling green. And it came as a further great surprise and pleasure to receive an invitation this year to come to the opening of the bowl house at Wanlockhead. And from what I've seen tonight, I can only say I would have been most disappointed if I hadn't been here, because I think this is must be, I think, one of the most wonderful nights in the history of Wanlockhead. I don't think there's been a better night and a better venture and a better prepared conclusion than what you have here tonight. I think the bowling green has improved, but now that you have this facility, I think it's absolutely wonderful that Joe, with all his workers, and the Earl obviously behind them with providing some of the cash that's needed. I may say I wish he was a district councillor in Airdrie, because we're needing a new roof in our bowl house. But joking apart, it's really a great pleasure and a credit to everybody concerned. And I personally, Joe, would like to congratulate everybody for what they have done. I'm sure you would like to hear, I've got a wee poem. I gather some of these up about bowlers. The last one, the latest one that I did here was, the bowler stood at the pearly gates, his face was worn and old. He stood before the man of fate for entrance to the fold. What have you done, St. Peter asked, to gain admission here? I've been a skip at the Wanlock Green for many and many a year. The pearly gates swung open wide, St. Peter touched the bell. Come in, he said, and choose your heart. You've had your share of hell. I'd just like to say, I'm sorry that the Countess wasn't able to come and open the green tonight. Unfortunately, my own wife, Margaret, she's had an operation on her knee and she couldn't do it. But I'm awfully glad that we brought the substitute, my sister Nan, here, and I'm sure she was delighted, as she was, like myself, born and brought up in Wanlockhead, and a great credit indeed. And finally, I would like to say that we do get one or two badges, just one or two Scottish badges, and everybody's looking for them. And I had laid one aside. There's a small brooch that we provide for a lady who does something for the bowling. I'm sure my sister won't mind at all if I present that small brooch to the Earl of Dalkeith, and if he would present it himself to his wife, who unfortunately didn't manage to come tonight, but I'm sure she would be looking forward to this. I would ask if you would accept that on behalf of the Countess. No more fitting person could receive a Scottish Bowling Association badge than a man who, I'm sure, by his enthusiasm and by the work that he's done on behalf of this club, I'm sure Joe Scott deserves a Scottish badge. I hope you'll wear it always at the top, Joe, because it's the top association.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you are. I forgot to thank the ladies for providing such a spread for us. That is the wings of the bowling professionals. So, one day going to something.
And then John full of heart is away in the band as well. Of course, he's a great squad. No,
Fraser Terry.
That's right. They had a good band.
Deliver that.
Bye.
Oh, there it's on now.
See, they're all in line with each other. No, I can't. And she hasn't changed, and you know. And you know Mrs. McIntosh? No. Well, you know, straight opposite where the paper shop is. The holiday house. Yes. Mrs. McIntosh. This is Mrs. G. You stay just for holidays. Aye. Very fortunate. That's right. What do you mean by saying you didn't recognise the show?
Well, we've just been seeing it really almost generation.
That's how they all made it.
That yours? Go into the back there. Who's shot?
I'm a fan. How many up?
The son was managing his house. She was a registrar. So she said it was a great promotion because the chap was already paid. Back to the house again.
Hide them up, hide them up.
It's just like it. The guy's taken. Oh, leave it. And the guy's taken the two goals into the ditch. No. 2 goals into the ditch.
That must be quite a record you've got tonight. Eh?
It's coming in.
Hey, it dominates the team of excellent. The veranda.
Did you just come on Saturday?
Ah, maar dan niet worden.
No, we just come up today. We just come up today. this takes it.
Aye, I think so.
No, it's quick. Motorway now. It's motorway on these. I mean, it used to take a lot longer, but
That's it.
it seems awfully quick, that. Because we keep moving.
What's your next, darling? Just right in about 5 minutes.
Hello.